Welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole. Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole, and we're going to kick this off with just saying that if you're tuning into this episode where we're going to talk about the secret to creating irresistible offers and really, really exciting offers for your business, then you're going to want to pay attention to the intensive program that I have coming up. It is called Finding Your Cosmic Niche, and this is one of my signature pieces that I teach inside my Genius Brand process. This is the same process I teach to my Business by Design mentorship clients, people who pay thousands and thousands of dollars to work with me in that program. I'm teaching you actually this piece that can be a really pivotal piece in bridging the gap between you and your ideal client, helping you find the people that you were born to serve through your human design chart and how that relates to your business. We're not just going to be like, oh, it's the nodes. I'll tell you what it is right now. I'm going to talk to you about how that actually shows up. There's a very different way of interpreting the nodes. So we're going to go through that and how we can really start to get into the energy of that, understand who those people are, how they fit into our business, and how our expertise fits with that. So we're going to bring it all together. It's a really in-depth program that I'm putting together. I'm super excited about it. And if you want to be a part of it, all you have to do is DM me the word niche on Instagram and we'll send you the information there. You can sign right up right there. We'll send you the link, or you can go to the website directly just at nicolelano.com/niche and we'll get you set up there. All right. Now let's talk about offers. Okay. In this episode, I'm actually going to cover three things, like three little buckets I've sort of broken this episode into. So I'm going to go over those with you just to let you know what to expect in the episode. So first, I'm going to go through the three elements every truly irresistible offer needs. Then we're going to talk about two things that I see entrepreneurs forget all the time about creating irresistible offers. I want to highlight that because it's often something so obvious, but it's so easily overlooked. And I want you, as you're listening to this, go through your old offers, go through the offers that are on the table right now in your business and hold it up against the things that I'm going through in this episode and see if it measures up. And the last thing that we're going to go over is I'm going to actually share with you what you want your offer to be besides being irresistible. We all want an irresistible offer, but there is something else you should be striving for. And those three elements and the two things that I see everybody forget, if you're taking all of that to heart, you'll be able to create an offer that's not just irresistible. It's also going to be something else. I'm going to share with you what that is. Without further ado, let's do this. Okay. So offers, they are the lifeblood of your business. They are what people buy. You could have 10 or 20 offers, although I don't recommend that. Certainly if you're just starting out. I think one of the things, this is not one of the mistakes that I was going to call out in the episode, but I'm going to talk about one of the mistakes that I just see as we're talking about it now, is that they have too many offers, too many mediocre offers, rather than having one banging offer, which is the easiest place to start. And you will learn a lot about how to make a good offer if you're making one better. So it's very hard to make 10 offers better all at once. It's very hard it's like juggling. So if you're trying to sell a bunch of different offers, that's like handing somebody 6 bowling balls and being like, juggle these, and they've never juggled before. Or maybe they've been able to juggle scarves before and they're not, and then you hand them 6 bowling balls. They're like, oh, this is a bit advanced for me. Selling multiple offers at one time is a bit advanced, especially when you're trying to figure out, is the offer working? So you could have 10. I don't recommend that in the beginning. Or you could have 1. But what we're going to talk about is, what is it that makes a great offer? And how can you make your offers better? Because rather than jumping to, I think that one of the most prevalent forms of self-sabotage is, instead of improving the things we already have and really looking at them with a critical eye and saying, why isn't this working or working the way that I want it to? How do I optimize and fix and shift this so it can be better before I go throwing it out? We go and we create something new. And I see that with people. And that's why when I have clients in Business by Design talk about shifting their strategy, they can do whatever they want. I'm a coach. I call out what I see, but ultimately the decision is always yours. And you know me, I'm the queen of become your own authority. So I'm not the authority of you. However, it is my job to point out if I think that you are subconsciously self-sabotaging yourself with something that seems productive and like a great idea. So one of the ways that I see people self-sabotage all the time is they go and create a new offer rather than fix the one that they have, or even look at it. They just go, "Ooh, I'm all lit up by this. I want to teach this." And that's okay. But are you also optimizing the things that you have, or are you throwing the baby out with the bathwater and creating more work for yourself? Looking at you, manifesting generators. Just calling it out because we do love to do that stuff. We do love, and we call it multi-passionate, and sometimes it is, but this is where we have to understand where our actions come from. This is what self-mastery is. And until we master ourselves, sometimes we need to hire people to watch us and go, "Oh, do you see that you're doing this? Do you see how, even if you become really great at a sport, every athlete has a coach and they're telling you where maybe, Michael Phelps had a coach until the day he retired. And I'm sure that coach is calling out if he sees him, if his stroke is not right, or if his turns weren't strong and tight, he would call that out. Because even the best can't see everything. So that's just my little soapbox side note right there. So let's talk about the 3 elements that every irresistible offer needs. Every irresistible offer, the offer that people want to buy, needs to have, it should be the combination. An irresistible offer should be where your innate genius, your zone of genius, the stuff you're really good at, not your zone of excellence, not your zone of competence, not all the things you could do, but your true genius, your innate genius, your practical expertise. It is not all energy. It should be your practical expertise. And your audience's problems come together and form your unique solution. So I'm going to say that again. Your offer is where your innate genius, your practical expertise, and your audience's problems come together to form your unique solution. It should be the best of all of these elements. It shouldn't be just any problem that you solve. It shouldn't just be anything that you could do. It should be the best of what you do. You should be at a point of real excellence with your expertise before you create an offer around something. Now, excellence can be, in the eye of the beholder, but you should have a real good handle on what it is that you're doing in order to be in integrity with what you are teaching and being able to answer questions if somebody asks you and be able to guide them, because that is what offers do. If someone buys something from you, you want to make sure you deliver on the promise that the offer made. It is an exchange. It is a bargain. And it might be short-term gains if you get people to buy something that really doesn't deliver, but the long-term effect energetically on how it affects you when you realize that you are not delivering for people, that will absolutely affect your ability to sell. So those 3 elements are what make up a great offer, a real irresistible offer. Because when you have those pieces, that is when you can start tweaking it and making it better. And people are buying it over and over and over again. You're going to price it accordingly in the next section where I talk about the things that most people are forgetting. But this is how you start to build an offer. Those are the core elements of it. And then you price it based on how important is that problem for somebody to solve. How important is it for them? What's the value of the offer to the person that you are offering it to? Now let's talk about those 2 things that entrepreneurs typically forget about creating an irresistible offer. One is that the offer needs to be centered around a problem that people will pay money to solve. We forget this, particularly in the transformational space. It has to be something that they are willing to pay money for. It can't just be feel better. You can try that, but typically that won't sell. Or it might sell if it's $10. Do you have a $10 problem that you sell? Or do you have a $10,000 problem that you sell? What can they do with it? So it has to be a problem that people will pay money to solve. And how much money you want to make, then you've got to elevate the value of that offer to match that exchange of what you are giving them and what they're paying you. If you want to charge $10,000, you got to figure out how you give them $50,000 worth of value. That's how you make it irresistible. You make them feel stupid for not taking you up on it. Like they can't afford not to. I had one client say that, where she was just like, as I went through it and I thought about where I was and I thought about where I wanted to go, I realized that I couldn't not afford not to join this program because I needed it in order to get where I'm going. That's how you want people to feel. I need to solve this problem so badly, I will pay you this because I know that the value is exponentially more in my life. So you need to know what that is. The second thing that people forget is that the problem you solve cannot be vague. It can't be a vague problem. It needs to be a specific problem to a specific group of people. So the example I have here, like an example I can give is, some people will say like, I clear limiting beliefs. Like that's the problem that I solve. And that's still a vague problem. For what? You clear limiting beliefs for who? For business owners. Why? It makes them more successful. We're so in vague land that I don't know if that's for me. What limiting beliefs? What's it going to help me do? That's where the messaging starts to sell the offer. That's why in my Business by Design mentorship, we start with the messaging before we start making the offer. The messaging determines the offer. The messaging tells us what the problem is. Human design tells us what our innate genius is. You know what your expertise is, and we put all of that together and we say, this is the offer that you're meant to put out in the world. That is what we have to do. We have to get to that level of specificity. This is why money coaches do so well. Why? Because they say, I help you clear limiting beliefs around money. And then they get really clear about the problem that they solve. They say things, and sometimes it can seem hyperbolic, but they might say that it's your limiting beliefs that are keeping you in debt. So I've built a program around getting out of debt. Now, if I price that program at $10,000, that might not be the right problem for the right person, because if they're in debt already, they might not spend $10,000. They might not have it. But if I make that a smaller problem where I tackle that one smaller thing, then maybe I charge $397 for it. And they're like, oh my God, I can't afford not to buy this. $400 and I can get out of debt. It's going to clear my limiting beliefs. It's going to give me a plan to get out of debt. It's going to you could create something around that problem rather than just clear the limiting beliefs. This is why money coaches are very specific about the problem. They're specific about a problem it solves for certain people. Money expansion coaches are telling you if you're at this place, then you have these beliefs about money, and this is why you're experiencing this problem. This is why you're stuck at $150,000 a year, because you have this belief about money. You have either a belief about money that people won't support you if you are successful, or you have a belief maybe that it's not safe for you to make $150,000. You'll pay more taxes. All of these very typical beliefs. But when I start speaking specifically, you start to figure out if that problem is right for you. That's the difference. When you say limiting beliefs, it's so easy to dismiss that as saying yeah, I have that, but I'm not really paying attention when you say that. It has to be specific. So when I start to go through this, and when I start to go through the genius brand process with my clients inside Business by Design, and they're starting to bring their human design into this, and they're starting to tap into what their innate genius is. They're getting their cosmic niche. Some of the questions I get is, can my expertise be profitable? And my answer is always yes. Your expertise can be profitable. But in order to do that, you have to remind people why they need it. That is such a key with this. What's keeping them from doing or having what they want? You have a limiting belief. Why is it important for you to clear your limiting beliefs? What can they do after? We have to ask these questions, and this comes to messaging. Messaging is at the core of every irresistible offer. It is what makes the offer if you're doing it right. If you're looking and saying, oh, I could offer this because people want it, then you're not really coming at it from a point, you're not deep enough yet. You got to figure out, well, what can I offer? What's the outcome? Where can I get them? But if you're just coming up with ideas about offers that you think people will buy, you're probably creating a lot of offers that people don't buy. But if you're really digging into what problems they have and how you uniquely solve them, that's the makings of an irresistible offer. That's where you start. So I always say everybody has the ability to have their expertise be profitable. But the things that I highlighted in this episode, they don't just make your offers irresistible. There's something else that they make them too. They make them game-changing offers. They are not just the offers that everybody wants to buy, which of course we want. They're not just the $1 million offer. They are transformational offers that change the game for the people that buy them. So they provide consistent sales and consistent results. That's what we want. And that's what every single person listening to this, if you've gotten through this episode, you should be striving for a game-changing offer. And this is why it's hard to have 10, 20 offers, because it's hard to make all of them game-changing, to pay that close attention, unless you've been building them over a really long time. If you're creating 10 offers at once, it's very hard to make them game-changing offers, and something's going to fall through the cracks. So you want to make one of them game-changing before you move on to the next one. Last year, my word of the year was optimize. And one of the things that I told my team was, I'm like, we are obsessed with client results. That is our number one priority. And not that it wasn't a priority before, but it's what we wrote on the board. It was like number one priority, client results, taking data on it, really drilling down into everything that people are doing, not doing, so we can keep making this better. And we got there. We're still doing it. I'm still obsessed with client results. We're revamping things now, but we have such a good foundation. I don't have as much work to do now. And now I can start adding other things. I have the ability to do that now. But it's because I created a game-changing offer, and that is my goal. And when you have a game-changing offer, then people refer you, then they come back and they buy other things from you. And this is where you gain confidence because you're like, I get results for people. You sell with conviction. So if you have an offer that you're looking to add something special to by connecting it to your cosmic niche. This has happened with countless clients in my Business by Design program. They've come in and we've gone through their cosmic niche, and it gets them that specificity that they were lacking before, to go from being like a life coach who helps people with overwhelm, busy entrepreneurs with overwhelm, to getting to be a life coach who helps people achieve their goals by making them manageable and helping them manage through times of transition. That is a specific problem. And they got very clear on that audience with this cosmic niche process. So if you want to get in on that intensive program that I'm doing, all you have to do is DM me niche on Instagram. I'm at Nicole Laino Official, or go to NicoleLaino.com/niche and sign up right there on the website. Or if you have an offer that's already selling, that's selling well, maybe it's a one-to-one offer or a group program, and you want to amplify those results you're already getting with an authority funnel, which is what I teach inside the Business by Design mentorship, and you're looking for more guidance, long-term coaching, and somebody's going to help you build a business that is aligned with who you are while creating profitable and repetitive sales or profitable business, then DM me mentorship to book a call with me to talk about Business by Design. We'll see if it's right for you. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best for the rest of your day, whether you're listening in the morning or you're listening right before you go to sleep. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everybody. We will see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLaino.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.